My neck hurts. My neck hurts.
Uh-oh. Mr. A, how's the test grading going?
I don't know.
Mr. A, why does your neck hurt?
Actually, it was hurting, and the Kevin popped my back and make it worse. I think.
It's like Kevin tried to help, but he made it worse.
I don't blame him. It was comfortable for a second, and then afterward, I think it hurts more.
Did you take aspirin? Is Kevin
No.
trying to be a chiropractor when he grows up? Is that his dream aspirin?
Yeah, it's kind of. All right, so we have a questions here. We have a couple questions. One is question 12. Some of you guys, I'm concerned about a few people. I'm gonna kind of say out loud because I never know how to keep my mouth shut. I'm concerned in this classroom. I'm concerned about Min. I'm concerned about Simon. I'm concerned about Irby. Irby's going through a couple things, but yeah. But I'm also concerned about Elaine and Madeline as far as small things, that there's small algebra stuff that you guys need to fix. Every on the detail side. I think a lot of you guys are improving in general. I think you have to start from somewhere, and you have to be precise on start with one question. You cannot try to be half-assed on all the questions. So if you choose, you have two choices. You can half-ass all the question, or it can be very locked in on half the question. I would rather be locked in on half the question because I'd rather you get half right than all completely wrong. Because when I grading very harsh. Like if you miss up half, I'm probably gonna mark you the whole thing wrong. So you're gonna get 10 wrong instead of 5 correct, right? Because start by understanding those details. So let's talk about the one of the questions here. 3. I think that question a lot of thing happen. So let me try to do it here. And my neck hurts, so I don't know if I can think properly. Ethan, would you mind to stop?
Yeah.
Okay, so dy y minus 2 equal to cosine of 3x, and that's cosine of 3x. Dx and square. Okay. Now, after I did that, I'm going to integrate. So obviously, there's u substitution on both sides. I'm going to write down u equal to y minus 2 and u equal to 3x here. So usually on the left side, it's going to be 1/3 of sine of 3x here because that's just the quicker way to think about it. But the reason why is du equal to 3 dx and du equal to 3 dx equal to du over 3. A lot of people don't do this step. And this one's going to be integration of u squared e to the negative 2. So integration of u to the negative 2 is going to be negative 1 u to the 1. Any questions here? I probably do negative 1 over y minus 2 equal to 1/3 sine of 3x plus c. So in this moment, I can plug in initial condition. I don't know when that I plug in Madeline's paper, but I can plug in right now. What happened if I plug in pi over 2? I should get 3. So 3 minus, so negative 1 over 3 minus 2 equal to 1/3 sine of 3 pi over what? 2 plus c. So that's going to be negative 1 equal to negative 1/3 plus c. Wait, so c is equal to what? Negative 2/3. Okay, I don't know if that's right, but I'm gonna keep on going. It's not right? I don't know. I picked it wrong, but my neck is really painful right now. So this one's a negative 2 over 3. Let me know where I made a mistake though, if I did. Let me double check if I make mistake. Hold on a second. 3 minus 2 is -1. -1/3. -2/3. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep on going. So what I'm gonna do is I'll multiply by 3 on both sides. Or should I multiply by -3 on both sides? I don't know. Let's do multiply by -3 on both sides then. So that is going to be 3 over y minus 2. And -3 is going to be negative sine of 3x plus 2. Is that okay? And then I'll flip both at the same time. So y minus 2 over 3 equal to 1 over negative sine of 3x plus 2. And I multiply 3 on both sides. So it's going to be y minus 2 equal to 3 over negative sine of 3x plus 2 at the end. I don't know if that's the right answer or not.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, this is algebra is kind of intense. Like at one point, I probably get kind of confused sometimes, but you had to go very detailed, try to figure out, how to do it right way. So that's the question 3. I think this one's hard. This one's not easy. Sure. 7 is going to be dy dx is equal to y cosine of x. Y equal to 3 when x equal to 0. So dy over y equal to cosine of x dx. Do you have that? Do you integrate both sides? So that's going to give you natural log of y. Did you get that? Sine of x plus c. Is that okay? So e to the both sides, so e to the ln of y equal to e to the sine of x plus c. So that's y equal to e to the sine of x plus c. So now is y equal to e to the sine x times e to the c, which is c. So y equal to ce sine of x. Did you get that part? Yes? Okay, now plug in initial condition. Initial condition is 3 equal to ce sine of 0, which is 0. So c is equal to 3. So therefore, it's going to be 3e sine of x. I think that's my answer.
What? It's originally was. Oh, wow. I did slide there. Probably just something's back.
Okay, let's talk about a bear question. How many of you guys got it right on bear question? How many guys tried? You got 0? But how many of you guys got it right? The whole part? Okay, that's good. So this is the actual FRQ. This is worth 9 points on AP exam. So let's start with the question. The question
140 points total, right?
108 points.
108. So that's 12 of the test right there, right?
It's about 1/11 of the test.
No, it'll be 112.
112? Oh yeah, 112. You're right. I can't count. Wait, hold on a second. 9.
Because it would be 99 points if it was an 11, and then you just add 9 and it's 108.
Oh, you're right. I can't count today. I'd say my back is really hurting. So.
Mr. Nadia, are you gonna use an excuse for a while?
No, I have a chronic back problem.
Oh.
So it's not
Yeah,
like.
I don't think he's just making an excuse.
I know I'm not using this
Oh,
excuse.
no, I believe that back turning. I just didn't know that was a chronic thing.
It's chronic. Like
What does chronic mean? Like, does that just mean it's really, really painful?
no, it's happened very often and it's really for me it's really
Oh,
painful.
chronic. chronic, like
Yeah, it happened just very frequent.
like chronos.
Really
Time.
sucks. However, I probably.
All right, so
Like you have chronic meanness.
so that's underlying information on AP exam. So you need to learn how to annotate stuff. For me, like this part is annotation. For here, this is something is worth it. It's right here. But it turns out they actually even make it a lot easier. They actually say initial condition, but they mean exactly the same. But they don't have to give you the second part. They can definitely tell you says at time equal to 0, there are 200 bear in the forest, and that's it. That's the only thing they have to be able to tell you. Okay. Now, second thing is a differential equation. This is also known as a rate of change. This is a rate of change. This is a dB dt. Now, the population of the bear is B of t. So you have to integrate that. So that's just so you know for those information. Now, for this particular part, they say, hey, is a number bear grow faster? They are 300 bear or when they are 400 bear. So that we are say grow faster or slower, we are talking about rate of change. So what we can do is dB dt at 300 is equal to 1/2 times 600 minus 300. So that's going to be 150. And I said dB dt, now I draw a straight line, that means when t equal to 400, so that's equal to 1/2 times 600 minus 400, so that's equal to 100. So which one grow faster? 300 bear grow faster. Now, ideally, that's not thinking about math. Why is a bear at 300 is growing faster at 400?
Because there's more resources. Is that what you said? Not thinking about math, right?
Yeah, not thinking about math.
Yeah, because there's more resource availability when there are more bears. It would be. It's kind of. Are you talking about like in a realistic situation? Like
Yeah,
what would be
realistic
the
situation.
Yeah, then it would be like resources and stuff.
Yeah, but what you're saying doesn't make sense.
Well, as there's more bears, there's the same amount of resources, so they wouldn't be able to repopulate as much because they don't have all the like food and stuff.
Right.
To repopulate it more.
So yeah, so those are just a biology standpoint. Like if you just think about it, there's a limited factor, right? So when you grow a higher number, you are competing with the same resources, and then so it's less likely to grow. So you probably think like the more bears should grow faster. Technically, ideally, that will be true if the resources are limited. But if the resource is limited, that in the forest is limited, then therefore you should grow slower when it gets a larger population because you're fighting for the same resource. And that's why there's reason in this case kind of says like intuitively, some people are probably gonna say 400 bears, but you have to plug in to see that. But this is based on real situation. And they can estimate that.
Well, because you can also kind of just look with the rate of change and see that you're subtracting the amount of bears. So the more bears it would be, the less it would be anyway.
Right. So now d2b dt2, this one's kind of interesting. You had to take d to the dt of db dt. Does that make sense? That makes d2b dt. Does that make sense here? If you take a derivative of the rate of change, I get the second derivative of rate of change.
Yeah.
Which is acceleration. Or in this case, it might be decelerating. We don't know. So now I'm going to take a d to the dt. I'm going to plug in the dv dt. And I say, oh yeah, this is dv dt, but I'm going to distribute it because I think that's a slightly easier. And I'm going to take a derivative of that. So that's going to be negative 1/2 dB dt. Now remember, this is d2b dt, right? So usually when we do a second derivative, we plug in the first derivative. So that is gonna be plug in. So once you plug in, it's gonna be half times 600 minus b. So that is gonna be 1/4 times 600 minus b. And that's equal to, wait, minus, hold on a second. Minus b, yeah. So it will be 1/4. What do they say, how many bear? 450, I think. Negative 1/4. Okay, so that's 450. So that's gonna be 150 over 4 negative, or 75 over 2 negative. So since it's a negative, are they concave up or concave down? Concave downwards. Now I can ask you another question. What if I ask you, if I use tangent line approximation to approximate a bear, are they more likely to be overestimate or underestimate? If I use tangent line approximation to approximate this, to approximate the population of bear, are they going to be more likely over approximate or under approximate? Why is over and why is under?
Which one's down? Which one's concave down? Wait, shoot.
You're doing the concave down right now.
This is down?
Yeah.
Okay, then it would be. Oh,
Yeah, it'd be over. Because you think about it, if it concave down, right?
Mr.
This is a tangent line. Tangent line is above the concavity. So they can ask you that second type of question. C. Use separation of variable b of t to find the differential equation of b of 0 is equal to 200. So now I'm going to say, okay, well, that's db dt is equal to 1/2 times 600 minus b. And we say, okay, let's move dt to the other side. Is this okay so far? Is this okay so far? Now I move the b related term to the other side. It'll be db is equal to 600 minus b is equal to 1/2 dt. Min, coming back to me. Are we okay here? Now we can integrate. Integrate on the right side is pretty easy. Right, left side is a little bit harder. The right side, I'm going to do it first, is a 1/2 t plus c. What's the integration of the left side? Think about it first before you say it. No, I don't want to call on you, Ethan. I know you got it right. I need other people to think about it. What's the integration of 600 db over 600 minus b? Let's ask Tony. Yep. What? That's wrong. Madeline? No, that's the algebra mistake I'm worried about. That's the algebra mistake that you had to be pay attention to. Jack? Yeah. Did everybody got that? U equal to 600 minus b, the whole quantity. And du is equal to negative db. So that is going to be integration of du over u, negative. So it'll be negative natural log of 600 minus b equal to 1/2 t plus c. I don't like the negative sign because I cannot get rid of natural log if I have a negative sign in front. I'm going to get rid of the negative sign first. Is that okay? And c is still not changing. I can solve for b by e to the both sides. So this cancel out, so it'll be 600 minus b equal to e to the negative 1/2 t plus c. I solve for by b, I move b to the right side, I move everything to the other side, so b equal to 600 minus e to the negative 1/2 t plus c. I plug in initial condition. There was 200 bears. 600 minus e to the 0 times e to the c. And we call this c, I think. So what is c?
400.
C is equal to 600 minus 200. So 400. So b is equal to 600 minus 400 e to the negative 1/2 t. Because a c becomes the front. You guys gotta try some of those homework. Okay? How much time I have? How much time I have? Cool. That's enough. And this will give you 9 points on AP exam. Yes, it's 111? 112. Can't count.
That's like all the points.
No, you only need a 70 to get a 5. Yeah. No. Can you just get bigger eye? That sounds kind of racist. I admit it, I'm a racist. Live stream.
Wait, are you streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting canceled for this.
No, I'm gonna talk about homework right now.
Yeah. Are you saying why does it
Yep.
400? Because e to the 0 is 1.
Like before you integrate?
So
What would happen if you
600 minus c equals 200.
the 1/2?
Because e to the 0 equals
Why can I cancel what?
Would it be equal if I multiply everything by 2?
Yeah, but it doesn't benefit you. Multiply by 2, then you got 2 in front of natural log. The whole idea is to isolate the natural log so you can cancel the
So
natural
you
log.
cancel e, okay.
So you want to be us. That's why I get rid of negative sign first.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just gonna do one more step here. That's equal to e to the negative 1/2 t times e to the c. E to the c is changed into c. So that's technically c e to the negative 1/2 t. All right, so we're gonna talk about slow field. Today we're gonna do something kind of crazy. It looks very difficult. It looks like something like this.
Oh yeah, we've seen those. I've seen those and I've been wondering what they mean.
What is formula? What is that?
Now it looks very, very scary, but it's not. Somebody just.
It's a bunch of like
All right, so I'm gonna give you a link of this.
very
You can check your answers, but the idea of this, you are not doing this next page. This next page is our word problem. This is called Newton's cooling law. You're not supposed to do this. This is applications. We're not worried about application. As a moment, I'm gonna worry about slow field. So I'm gonna, oops, my bad. Next count. Okay, so for this part, I'm gonna teach you says, hey, let's draw some simple slope. Let me erase this. So write down simple slope. slope of equal to 1, or slope equal to 0, what does slope equal to 0 look like?
It's flat.
It's a flat, but what kind of flat? Horizontal or vertical?
Horizontal.
So it's horizontal. So you're gonna draw a slope like this, horizontal line like this. If a slope is equal to 1, then you're gonna have a 45 degree, has a 1, go up 1, right 1 slope. Slope is -1, is gonna be like this way. You can get, I'm gonna write down m equal to half, so it's gonna be a little bit flatter. Not exactly 45 degrees. M equal to -half, it's gonna be this way. M equal to 2, it's gonna be a little bit steeper, like this. M equal to -2 is gonna steeper going this way. Pretty much in this general slope, that's the only thing you need to know. You can exaggerate a little bit, but the only thing that pay attention is that zero slope right here, the horizontal slope. Now I told students it's always easier to do it this way. It's always easier to do it this way. I can have x, y, dy, dx. I could build a 3-column t-chart. It's no longer t. It's like a pie,
Yeah.
sort of. So I'm gonna, the whole goal is to find a zero slope. Think about which input here is gonna give me dy dx is equal to 0.
It would be x equals -1.
Does that make sense for everybody? If x equal to -1, -1 plus 1 is gonna give me 0. So that means x equal to -1. Now, your input, do they depend on y value?
No, not
No, because there's no y value input. So y could be any, just write down any for me. And dy dx is equal to 0. So that means anytime you have -1, you're gonna have a 0 slope. When x equal to -1, not y. So I'm gonna draw in the slope. Matter of fact, can x be 0? What happened when x equal to 0? What's my dy dx?
-1.
No, it's 1. 0 plus 1 is. So you should have a really nice 45 degree slope here. Those are the x value. Now what happened when x equal to 1? It's 2. So a little bit tiny steeper than before. Do you see I make it a little bit steeper? No, they don't really care. They only care about 0 slope and the rest of the slope. And they usually give you 9 points for you to plug in. Not like this many points. This is more than 9 points. This is already like, I don't know, 15 points already. If I plug in 2, then it's gonna be like a little bit steeper than before. This is
Wait, so
3,
it would
slope
be
of 3.
1 point for each line.
No. 0 slope, all the 0 slope is gonna be 1 point. The rest of the slope is gonna be another point. And this is gonna be like a super steep line. What happened when x is equal to -1, -2? -2 is gonna give you a -1 slope. So -1 slope is gonna be like this. There you go, it'll slope you. Now you see the second one and third one. Let's try the third one. Now think about what x value, what y value is going to cause me to have a 0 slope. There's more than one value. There's multiple value they're going to cause them exactly equal to 0.
Which way? What are we doing?
3. Min, what did you say? It's a positive and opposite. So give me an example. -3, 3. Okay, so -3, 3. So let's just say if I have x and y, right? Let's just say if I have x, y, dy, dx, and if you have -3, 3, so that's gonna give you -3, 3. I don't have that. Let's do -2, 2, okay? So -2, 2. So -2 and 2 is gonna give you this point. This is gonna be 0 slope, right? Or -1, 1, right? So that's gonna be slope. And you see the pattern now. Do you see the pattern?
It's y equals negative.
Yeah, it's a y go to -x. So all this thing is gonna give me this. Now what happened if 1 unit to the right of this? Then let's just say if you have 2, let's say 2, 1 here. Let me use a second marker here. So let's say 2. No, sorry, -1 and 2. So that's gonna give me what? What is the slope here? 1. So it's gonna be a positive 1. Do you see that? It turns out there's a pattern here. This is all positive 1 here. Does that make sense? And I can go into graph 2. 3. Well, I don't have to be super accurate. It's gonna be like this.
How often are these on the AP exam?
Very often. And usually worth 2 points. 0 slope is gonna be worth 1 point though. So if you identify all the 0 slope, on your homework, you're gonna do this page. This page. So this one is, I give you a slope here. You have to figure out what is the differential equation. Now figure out the 0 slope first. All those are differential equation. This last one is the approximation. There are 2 of them. So your homework is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one will be a practice of slope view, x over y. And so yeah. Slope of this side is gonna be like this. And you can probably finish your rest.
You said these 4 pages? Okay.
I'm so sleepy. My neck hurts. Simon and Min, I need to talk to you guys.
On is a fake Asian. The guy who interviewed and called a fake Asian. Yes, that's the guy.
We're with everybody to leave. Okay, so did you think you did okay on the last test? Okay, so I don't know how to help you guys, but I mean, you could pick up some stuff because, like, you, Joshua, on the fence, I don't think it's gonna get a 2. So I don't know. One of the things has to fix. You need to show up to school. You need to do the work. Even you sick, you could have watched the video. You could have go over the homework. You could have tried the homework. You didn't even try. So, I mean, I don't know how to help you guys, but I don't know what you want to do. You're not engineer, are you? What are you? And declare? Probably healthcare. Okay. Well, like I was telling him, is if you're engineer, then that's gonna be more to lose. But if you're not, I still rather you pass with the 3 or 4, but now you don't have to aim for 5. But 3 to 4 is reasonable. You guys are both smart. But you gotta do some work because you rely on how smart you are, and this doesn't carry over now. anything I have to say. Please pick it up. Take it easy. Do you guys do anything yesterday? Well, it's not here. What did you guys do? Nothing? You and Daniel and Rebob in Austin? Even sixth period?
No, fifth period. They're all there.
I put it on my table. I don't know where to put. All right. You want to continue as finish?
Oh, in the hallway?
Now,
Because I was walking.
Emily, I'm gonna try to push you to finish in the test. I think you can.
So what happened?
I know like you think you need it, but you don't. You're already doing like if you are like a C or D, but you have a A for most of the tests, and I think you can finish both. Now, could you got lower grade? Yeah, but I think what do you want to do? You're not like your sister who want to be a doctor.
I think maybe something in the medical. I don't like know like specific.
It's not because I want to give you a hard time. I have no intention to do that. I just want you to pushing yourself further. But let's say, for example, one day you do become a doctor, and you cannot just what's up. I just become a doctor, and you have to finish things in certain times. You have to keep on challenging yourself to try to push that way, because I know anxiety will come in. You will feel like you're doing bad, but one of those days you still have to overcome anxiety. That's my perspective. We all have to work on something every weekend. We cannot just try to in the comfort zone, because one day when life's on the line, then it's not gonna change. But I will challenge you keep on trying is to do within one test. Now, I'm gonna give you some like step to get there. So I'm gonna give you the whole test. You're gonna finish it as much as you can. Now, just promise me don't look at the few questions you have left. Right?
Yeah.
Because usually that's why I don't prevent on give people half page and the other page. I want to see that you can accomplish the whole task.
Yeah. I think I would be able to do like if it was like this, where it was like 2 pages front and back, I could probably do like one full page front and back, and like the points of one page.
Yeah,
Like,
and I want you to keep on incremental change
Yeah.
to get better at the finishing time. Because you don't want the rest of your life that's gonna become one of the things. And I just wish that I can push you and like overcome your fear.
Mhm.
Because if we afraid of height, we always can say, so, well, I'm afraid of height, I'm not gonna climb the building. But one of those days you have to climb the building, and one of those days you have to face your fear. You might as well start from now, and start facing a little bit at a time, and to building that tolerance that you have. So I'm gonna trust you next time. I'm gonna give you a whole test. I'm gonna ask you try your best to finish your test, and maybe we can start cutting from like 10 minutes to 5 minutes extra time, 5 minutes to 2 minutes. Maybe trying to push like this. You can finish it within time, because I really need you guys finishing in time, because your next year is gonna be harder.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be easier. So that's the problem I have, because I know you're doing good. I know you are very studious. I know you are really on top of things, but that doesn't help you if I keep on allow you to do that.
Thank you.
What do we just do? What do you want to Can you have time to see it?
Huh?
You have time?
Yeah.
Mr. A, you didn't say you had an MRI and she broke some neck disc.
This?
Yeah.
Dude,
What?
that's bad.
What? That's,
Like the neck,
Internet.
neck discs.
She's in a crack.
Ooh,
Who? You did?
you're.
You should.
Bro, I don't
no, she texted me the day that happened. She was like, I can't show up because I'm not gonna expect you to show up because
Yeah.
it's not take it easy. But she's like, oh yeah, I just have bruise on the knee. I'm like,
Bro,
okay, but I didn't know it's this bad.
that's not good.
Yeah.
So she had to wear a halo.
Like the neck brace.
Yeah, it has like support.
Oh, well, it then have to halo is bad. Halo is like 4 parts,
No.
and that's
The
the
neck,
trick.
the neck is right here.
Huh?
That shit was like
My sister had to wear. My sister was in really bad. That's why she had to wear halo. They had to drill in the head.
Oh my.
They had to put a drill, and she had to mark after that. Like they had to screw it
Yeah.
because they broke really bad. But she's perfectly fine. I just suck. You really need to be in school.
Bro, you're on the pages on your woman. It's the video.